No. No.
Hard to starboard! Starboard engines full of stern!
Starboard engines full of stern!
I got it! I got it! Come on! Turn! Turn!
Sadly, Poseidon didn't really work for the studio. I mean, it was a box office failure, and there was a whole reason why they wanted to do that movie. Do we have time to get into that?
Yeah. Of course,
Poseidon?
go for it.
So
why Poseidon? Why Poseidon?
Because he wanted what we don't realize here, what I never realized here in the U.S. when we were kids, they used to run the Wizard of Oz all the time at Thanksgiving. You know, that was like the big thing at Thanksgiving. Well, I think at Easter, I think in Europe during Easter's a really huge celebration in Europe, you know, comparable to our Thanksgiving, even more than our Easter. Well, the original Poseidon Adventure runs on television all the time there. It's a big thing in Europe. I don't get it because I never thought much of that movie, but it's, you know, it's just a big thing in Europe. So he had this idea about redoing that movie and having this incredible ship, you know, and it's so funny because the pitch he made was amazing. It was an amazing pitch, and the studio bought into it. Originally, it was supposed to be a Russell Crowe movie, and in the 11th hour, he sort of pulled out, and it became Kurt Russell then, you know, and they didn't really rewrite it or anything for Kurt Russell. It's really a Russell Crowe thing, and not to criticize Kurt Russell or anything, but you know, it's like, because he's a really good guy to work with, great actor.
Yeah, awesome.
And I've never, ever once been disappointed by a performance that I've seen from Kurt Russell, you know. But on the other hand, I've never opened up the Friday calendar and said, oh my God, Kurt Russell has a movie coming out this weekend. I got to go see it. You know, you know what I mean? So like Sean Connery, Sean Connery's got a movie, you know, I would go see that. You know, or Richard Harris has something, I'll go see that, you know. So the movie just didn't do well, and it had a great cast. I mean, Josh Lucas he was up and coming at the time, you know. He was really, really good. He was doing romantic comedies, but here he was doing something different. Amy Rossum, it was the first thing off of Phantom of the Opera for her. Richard Dreyfuss was in it. I can't remember who else. but the boat, the big thing was supposed to be the boat. The ship was supposed to be this most incredible thing, and it was all visual effects. Okay, and we built 2 sets. We did a set on stage 16 and one on stage 20, I think, or 21, right across the alley from 16. One was right side up and the other was upside down. Imagine the sets. I mean, one is right side up and one is upside down. 2, you know. So it was actually cool to go over there and see that, to see the upside down set and everything. But when you're on the set, you really couldn't get a sense of what the ship was like. And everybody kept asking, Wolfgang, when are we going to see the ship? You know, when are we going to see the ship? You know, and the producer on that was Duncan Henderson, someone else that we recently lost too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having this conversation because of Wolfgang, but Duncan Henderson produced. I don't think he produced Troy. He did Harry Potter. He did first Harry Potter for us, but he did Perfect Storm. Perfect Storm. There's another movie we did with Wolfgang that I completely forgot about.
Yeah, and I have some Perfect Storm stories too. So we should circle the wagons on that next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that soon. We can talk about that and a little bit of Poseidon. What was happening was Duncan had hooked up with Wolfgang, and then Wolfgang spirited away one of our creative execs. I'm trying to think of her name.
Which
I'm so
one?
embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed.
Courtney Valente?
No. Courtney's leaving now. That's one of the things that disappoints me about Discover, is that Courtney Valente's leaving. So she's one of the last. I don't know if Kevin McCormick is still there or not, but there aren't that many creative development people left from my tenure.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, we will get into this discussion again, but she was with Wolfgang on I'm not sure Perfect Storm, it's possible. Definitely Troy. And I think with Poseidon, but Duncan Henderson would come and talk to Mark Solomon and I together and ask, you guys know what's in the vault. I mean, you guys manage all that stuff. I mean, we did from distance, but is there anything that could stand the remake? Honest to God, they were looking for things to remake, which is actually kind of smart because you can readapt, update a lot of scripts and stuff like that, and not have constant battles with the writer because of the original work. There's
Right.
There's
So who mentioned Poseidon? You or Solomon?
No. They came in with that. We talked about a couple of different things. I believe even Troy was something that came from the vault, because Warner Brothers had in their catalog Helen of Troy, the movie Helen of Troy.
Okay.
And I think Troy may have been inspired by that, if not an out and out remake. I haven't seen Helen of Troy lately, so I don't know. I mean, it's a classic Greek tale, so we all know the story anyway.
So why Poseidon got made because of the pitch and because of the ship?
Yeah.
And when you were asking where the ship is, Duncan, where's the ship? What's the answer?
Oh, the ship was always, we're going to do it digitally. It's going to be this and that and all. But halfway through production, everybody's asking, we haven't seen the ship yet. Where's the ship? The creative exec, the production exec that Wolfgang took from Warner Brothers was Diana Rathbun. So she was one of the producers on Troy. She was great. She was wonderful to work with. I really liked her.
Okay. So what are your final thoughts on Poseidon then?
Poseidon, I actually liked the director's cut. So it was longer. It didn't have all the visual effects in it yet, and stuff, but I had a really good sense of where it was going. So I actually told Wolfgang very sincerely that I really thought this is a great movie, but sometime between that moment and when it came out, I mean, it was obviously a big disappointment to people. But it might be worth somebody taking a look at again. I may do that myself.
Let's do that. Let's take another look and reconvene on it.